Guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing very well. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys for 495 subscribers as of the recording of this YouTube video. I really do much appreciate it. We are so close to that big 500 that I've been working towards for the last couple of months. So that is amazing. Of course, that is the halfway milestone. Once we are at 501, we are closer to 1k than we were to 0. So that is amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough. It's actually very nice to see that my channel still grows even though I do not actually upload for a few days, which is really heartwarming. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for supporting me even when I am not actively uploading daily, which is it's gonna come back, I promise, just not this week or next week because there's still some holidays and some public holidays going on, so just bear with me for that. But for now, I hope that you all had a great Easter weekend. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed the time with your family. If you do, of course, celebrate it. If you don't celebrate it, that's fine too. I hope that you had a fantastic long weekend and got lots of rest in and maybe drank a few beers. Who knows? But yeah. So, real quick, this video is going to be the skill guide video I promised you guys. Now, I wanted to break this up into two parts. We'll see how far we go in this one video. There's not that many skills to really cover. Some of them are really self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go too in depth with them, but some of them are really obscure, so I'll need to actually explain what they do. Now, I'm not going to put in any actual like in-game gameplay. What I will do is I'll go through the album and then sort through these skills, as well as actually use my PC because that's where I'm going to look at the actual skills descriptions. So if you do hear some clicking in the background, this is actually my mouse. It's not that far away from my mic, of course. But yeah, so just bear with me for that. But first, I just want to check this out because I do see there is a choose your own 6-star. Okay, so that is kind of cool. Then of course we get a 3000 year Blood Bowl summons, which is also great. This is of course the one I did cover, I think. Yeah, I did cover this one in the last video. And then of course we have the mid-month new pool. I will be covering this one in a video on Friday, I want to say. Friday? Yeah, Friday probably. So I will be covering this banner. Just a side note real quick, this will be in... yeah, for another few days, but of course this is the summons where you can get Mila Rose. Let's just check who's in the summons for her. I did say that Mila Rose is going to be in very soon with her unfocused summon in the last weekly pool guide I did, and the rest of the characters in this summon is absolutely worthless. So yeah, Mila Rose is the only reason you would ever pull on this banner. Just a quick update on that. This one I'm already disappointed because I heard what it is, so we'll cover that on Friday like I said, and maybe any other battles I put in. But real quick, let's check this out. So choose a 6-star summons. I'm assuming there's quite a few good characters in this. Now, of course, you will get a 6-star out of this. And that's the problem with these summons, is the fact that once again, it's a 6-star. So you miss out on the 5-star character. If you, let's say for instance now, I do not own this Rukia, right? If you select this Rukia and you do get it by chance, because you need to select 10 characters, you can't select just one character and get it. If you do get this Rukia, you only get the 6-star variant, this variant over here. You do not get the 5-star variant, so you still need to get the 5-star variant out of a pull or out of a ticket. And that's the problem I have with these. That's why I don't even like actually using these. But at the end of the day, you know, if I can get a new character that I really want, or just have a new character, that is going to be awesome. So just a quick scan of this. There's some really decent units in this. Of course, Riruka on that. Nell over there. Rukia. Yachiru, of course, she's also very good. You have good characters like White. Oh, good. Great characters like White. 8th Anniversary Ichigo. It's a lot of crystal and potion characters in this, which is good, of course, for any new player. And veterans if you don't have it, of course. Zangetsu, really good, of course. Ishin, he was very good at Brave, but it's not anymore. Yeah, you got some good units to select from in this pool. It's nothing game breaking. Although you do get 7th Anniversary Uru you can pick, Ichigo as well. Can you pick 6th Anniversary? Because we're nearing the 6th Anniversary characters. Let's quickly check. Are they in this pool? Yes, they are. You can actually pick 6th Anniversary Aizen, Artworks Ichigo. Like I said, there's really decent units in this pool. Actually, you can pick all of the Anniversary characters you've actually missed and maybe get one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this for now, and I'll cover this on Friday as well. just look at everything, because we do have a couple of days remaining on the pull itself, so it's not that bad. But I'm going to pull on this one, the free summons. Let's just check who we can actually get in here. Actually, maybe I won't pull on this either. Maybe I'll wait until Friday as well for this. Let's see. Okay, so there's a lot of... Okay, so of course this is a amazing pull. Unfortunately, only going to get one of these units. But they all are pretty decent in their own right. It's a really good pull up until pretty much... I'll tell you where we draw the line on when it's good and not anymore. Okay, so he's not good. He's okay, but he's not good. Asnod's not good either. The rest of these are good. Kojiro is not that good. Yamamoto is kind of outclassed at the moment. He's not that good anymore. He's good. He's good. Where do we draw the line here? Right about here. That's exactly where we're going to draw the line. From there on, it's just old units that's just worth orbs, pretty much. Yeah, they all look cool, but extremely old units, that's not really going to be any good. And I guarantee you, when I pull on this, I'm going to get one of these old units, and probably dupe as well, because this game hates me. Let's do this free summons. I'm not going to get anything from it. As per usual, I don't get anything from my free summons. Yeah, there you go. Checks out. Okay, so let's get into the skill guide. This is going to be a long video. I'm really going to try and put it down into one video. I don't want to split this up really, because it's going to be confusing if I do. So let's start out. Adrenaline. I'm gonna try and also go ahead and do timestamps in the video for all these skills, but it's gonna be difficult. It's not gonna be that easy to do really. So we want the skill Adrenaline. It's not gonna be a soul trait. Is it in alphabetical order? No, it's not. Great. Is it even gonna show up here? That's a thing. No, it's not a skill like that, so it's an 8 skill probably then, yeah? Adrenaline? Adrenaline? Can we actually see this over here, or am I just gonna need to... Yeah, no, okay, so this is a slight issue, since it doesn't show up. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I'm probably gonna sit at the main menu for this. I don't know what to do really, but let's go. Okay, so the skill Adrenaline, what it does is it is actually more preferred to have this on an ad character, because it increases the normal attack speed. So your normal attack of your character, which is just your, well, normal attack, it will actually increase the attack speed of the character, whatever the set amount is. Now, Adrenaline is only available on some really old characters like Uryu. I think it's a frenzy character actually. That Uryu is a frenzy, I think. No, it's not frenzy, it's just a very old character. And some cons, which is also very old, so you're not going to see Adrenaline that often, but it does increase your normal attack speed. So we're going to be doing it like this. I do apologize if the lack of gameplay or anything like that is jarring, but this is the best we can do. Then skill Ailment Reversal. This is self-explanatory in a way, but I'm going to explain it in a very simplistic manner. What it does is, basically, if your unit that you're playing with has Ailment Reversal as part of his skill set, if an enemy applies a status ailment to you, you will reverse that status ailment, yield the HP damage done to you, and apply it to your enemy. Now, this only works when you are afflicted by an ailment that is afflicted by an enemy. It does not work if you're afflicted by environmental status effects like the lightning, weaken on the ground itself. You cannot reverse that. It doesn't get inflicted on you by an enemy, it's just static. So just remember that it needs to be inflicted by an enemy. Then, skill, increased normal attack damage. That is very much self-explanatory. If your unit has this in their skills, they will do more normal attack damage to the percentage set on the skill. Skill, increase strong attack damage. Same thing as normal attack. Strong attack damage, self-explanatory. If this is part of your skill set on your unit will do more strong attack damage set to the percentage of the skill. Then, multi-barrier skill. This increases the number of barriers generated by the unit. So, for example, normally if a character doesn't have multi-barrier, they will only put up a 3 stack of barrier. If it has multi-barrier, they will put up extra levels or layers of the barrier set to the skill amount. So it could be 1 or 2, depending on what multi-barrier is set to on your skill. Then Pierce Barrier. That is very much self-explanatory. Pierce Barrier, essentially what it does is it allows your character or unit to pierce a barrier without needing to break the barrier itself. So instead of hitting the enemy 5 times or 3 times to destroy the barrier, you just straight up ignore it. Then skill Start Barrier. Your unit will actually start out with a barrier already on them. Now this only lasts for a few seconds, but just note that normally a start barrier is a +10, I think it is, which is of course insane. Now there is some units that also have +15, but they're relatively new. So for the first few seconds of combat, you will have a very nice big barrier that you can work with. Of course, unless somebody attacks you with a Pierce Barrier skill, then you don't have a barrier anymore. Okay, so skill. Block boosts and debuffs. This is kind of almost unique to, it is 100% unique to Brave Battle characters, because this is a Brave Battle only skill. So essentially what it does is, if your character, for instance, let's say Mila Rose, has block, boosts and debuffs, they will actually say on the skill card itself what attribute it blocks. So let's say for instance Mila Rose has block, technique and speed, boost and debuffs. Essentially what it means is, if you are using a character that is on technique and speed and you go against a Mila Rose in Brave Battles, you cannot use any of your buff and debuff skills because of the fact that Mila Rose is blocking you. So it is a very much debilitating thing to have against you, but it is also extremely beneficial to have working for you. Then skills, Brave Battle Counter. So essentially what this means is that whenever your character that has Brave Battle Counter is inflicted with damage, you will then counter attack the enemy. So it's essentially free damage output that you get in Brave Battles. There's some skills I'm not going to linger on for too long because they are, like I said, pretty much self-explanatory. Like, for instance, Brave Battle Temporary Invincibility. For a few seconds, your character is completely invincible against all attacks. Skill, Ignore Brave Battle Invincibility. That is very much self-explanatory. So if you have invincibility on your character, but you're going up against a unit that has Ignore Invincibility, your character doesn't have invincibility anymore. And vice versa as well. If you have Ignore Invincibility and you're going up against a character that has invincibility, they do not have invincibility anymore. Brave Battles is very much a game of tic-tac-toe to see who can basically be the bigger child, in the sense of know you type of thing. That makes sense. Skill, Persistence. This skill is what shifted Brave Battles into what it is now. So after reaching 0 HP, your character will still stay alive for a few seconds and then flop down and die. Then Persistence Breaker. This is what Mila Rose has. Once again, another meta skill. Essentially what it does is it makes all the units that released in the last half a year, or year and a half rather, completely redundant in Brave Battles, because she just completely ignores your persistence and can kill you even when you have persistence. It's very silly. Skill, Berserker. Now we're getting into the actual skills that make sense. So what Berserker does is, I want to say self-explanatory, but it really isn't. It just says Berserker on your skill card, Berserker X amount %. So Berserker, what it does is it increases your strong attack damage to the set percentage. So if you have Berserker 60%, your strong attack damage is going to be increased by 60%. So keep that in mind. Berserker usually only appears on strong attack damage units. I'm saying usually because some of the extremely old characters have Berserker, Bruiser, everything on them to a very low percentage because they didn't know what the hell they wanted to do with the game. So just keep that in mind. So Berserker, like I said, strong attack damage. Great skill. Skill, Black Hole. So this is a very niche skill. There's only 2 units in the whole of the game that have it. It's a very old Joshiro, Japanese parasol Joshiro, that is also resurrected at this point in time, and a old Byakuya Kuchiki. Now, what this essentially does is for these units, Black Hole increases the Vortex attack damage. So these units have a Vortex, Black Hole increases the attack damage. You don't need to remember that because of the fact that these characters are old as hell and you probably won't even ever play with them, but just know that Black Hole is a skill that exists. Then skill, Blast Zone. This increases special move area of effect. There is, once again, not many units in the game that actually has this, but it is still a thing. Very old units have it. So Blast Zone essentially, like I said, increases your special move area of effect. This was back when special moves, this is essentially your Soul Bomb, weren't screen wide and didn't just delete the map. Okay, these old units have a very small AoE on their special effects, so yeah, Blast Zone was kind of necessary. I just want to check something real quick. Okay, yeah. Then Bombardment skill. Once again, I wanted to say this is a self-explanatory skill. It is not. So essentially what Bombardment does is... Hang on. Okay, so well, I actually forgot to expand some of the stuff here. So Bombardment, increased number of special move hits. So your Soul Bomb, let's say for instance your Soul Bomb will hit 4 times. If you have Bombardment on, it will hit additional times. That's pretty much what it is. Normally your characters that have Bombardment on it +1 is going to be considered a nuke character, which is absolutely great. Of course, they do insane amount of damage. So Bombardment increase the number of hits of your Soul Bomb, just remember that. So skill, increase full stamina damage. I don't need to explain this. This is extremely self-explanatory. If your unit is sitting on full HP, you will deal X amount of more damage. That is on all your attacks. Just remember that it's not just strong attacks or normal attacks or soul bombs. It is all your attacks will deal X amount more damage. So that is really good to have on certain units. Then skill, increased low stamina damage. Now this is a very niche skill because you're probably only going to be using it once again in brave battles. Essentially, like I said, it's the same as full stamina damage. Just when you are very low on stamina, you're going to get a damage boost. This is especially effective on units like Orihime, Asken, all the persistence units that you're running in brave battles, because of the fact that when you go into your persistence and hopefully not face against a Mila Rose, then you're going to be having this massive amount of damage boost when at low stamina. So just keep that in mind. Then skill, status ailment attack boost. This is a skill that we have literally seen twice. Okay? There's only on 2 units in the entire game. It is on the Cacao Society, Ulquiorra, and Agony Aizen. Now this skill makes these characters stand out. Number 1, because it's almost unique to them. Not almost, it is unique to them. And 2, it is an enormously powerful skill, especially on Aizen. What this means is it's the same as the skill called Status Ailment Spiritual Pressure Boost, except these 2 units are NAD units. So the skill Status Ailment Attack Boost boosts their normal attack damage by 80% when they inflict a status ailment. Just keep that in mind. Then skill Status Ailment Spiritual Pressure Boost, just explained it. Essentially what happens is you play the game, you inflict a status effect via any means, okay, and then your character will get a spiritual pressure boost based on whatever percentage it is. Normally it's 50, or not 50, normally it's 80%. Some resurrection characters have 50%, and some newer characters even have 100% or 120% depending on their soul trait. But of course that is neither here nor there. The majority of the characters that are actually really good in the game have an 80% SP boost on status ailment Affliction. Now remember, this is a SP boost, just straight up. This is not strong attack damage. This boosts your SP by 80%. It is absolutely gigantic. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The skill Status Ailment Spiritual Pressure Boost is very, very good. Then skill Booster. Now these are very, very these are very difficult skills to understand. Okay. So Booster, essentially what happens is These are supporting characters. They boost the effect of any buff techniques by 30%. Okay, so that is a general rule of thumb. If you have a booster, it's gonna increase the duration, or not even the duration, just the effect of any buff techniques by 30%. So that is really good to have on stuff like Guild Quest, Brave Battles, those type of things. Really nice to have. Then skill Bruiser. This is the normal attack damage skill. Remember earlier we spoke about a skill called Berserker. That was strong attack damage. The Bruiser is the counterpart to it because this increases normal attack damage by whatever percentage is set on the skill itself. So if you have a Bruiser 80%, you're going to be dealing 80% more normal attack damage, which is really, really good. So actually I had to pause the video there for a second. I needed to take a drink. We're already 20 minutes into this video and we have a hell of a long way still to go, but I'll see if I can get one part of the page done today, and then yeah, this will be a two-part video definitely. Yep, let's continue. Skill. Guaranteed status ailment infliction. Now this is once again something that is unique to Brave Battles. Well, not really Brave Battles, but the character that actually has it is a Brave Battle character. Now the thing is, this is very niche, like I said, so it's really not all that special, but what it does is essentially the unit has a guaranteed status effect proc against certain enemy types. So when they do implement that again in the future on more units, just know that guaranteed status ailment effect, it is exactly what it means. Whatever faction is gonna be inflicted by it, it's always gonna be inflicted by it. So yeah. Then skills, increased status ailment chance. That is also extremely self-explanatory. Increased status ailment chance, what does it do? It increases the chances of you inflicting a status ailment on an enemy. Very self-explanatory. Then skill, strong attack cooldown. That is once again a extremely self-explanatory skill. Strong attack cooldown, awesome. So if your unit has strong attack cooldown on the skill set or as a soul trait, it's going to reduce the cooldown of the strong attacks by whatever percentage is set on the skill. Skill, team strong attack cooldown. Now of course this is once again one of the skills where it is self-explanatory. If your unit has this, the whole team is going to be affected by whatever percentage this skill is set to. So that is also really, really cool. Skill, increase CPU double team damage. Another skill that 99% of you guys probably have never even heard of or seen, and this is because once again it is unique to a certain unit. It's the Suifon Yoruichi tag team. They can both run out at the same time pretty much when you play, and then the other unit that you are not controlling at that same time, because you can switch between the two of them mid-game, is actually going to be increasing their own damage output by using this skill called increased CPU double team damage. So there is that. Okay, now for there's a lot of them that is self-explanatory, so we'll see how far we get in this video. If it's under an hour, maybe I'll still upload it. Okay, so let's check this out. Skill, increased damage to burning enemies. Self-explanatory, don't need to explain that one, but I will anyways. I will explain them all. I'm not going to say self-explanatory anymore. Okay, so increased damage to burning enemies. If an enemy is burning, usually you will be inflicting that status ailment on them. You will be dealing more damage to them. Skill, increased damage to confused enemies. If an enemy is confused, you will be dealing more damage to them. Increased damage to dominated enemies. Not many units have the domination status effect yet. I think it's only Shinji and Gazelle that actually have it. But if they are dominated, you can then inflict more damage to them. Now usually just a quick note on this. The damage is normally 40%, but sometimes it may be a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher, depending on the unit. Increased damage to drained enemies. If you inflict drain on an enemy, you will inflict more damage to them. Drain is a status effect that actually gives you more health back. So just remember that you can actually heal using drain. That is why certain units like 8th Anniversary Ichigo and 8th Anniversary White is so incredibly difficult to kill. I think it's actually impossible to kill them because they have drain on all their attacks and they all basically have insane multi-hit attacks, which is great. Increased damage to frozen enemies. If an enemy is frozen, you will deal more damage to them. Increase damage to lacerated enemies, so if an enemy is bleeding, you will be dealing more damage to them. Increase damage to paralyzed enemies. If an enemy is shocked / paralyzed, you will deal more damage to them. Increase damage to poison enemies. If they are so unfortunate to be poisoned, I can think of much more worse ways to go than that. You will be dealing more damage to them. Increase damage to slowed enemies. Slowed is kind of a skill that is falling off, but there's still quite a few units that is relatively decent that use slow. But you will be dealing more damage to enemies that are slowed using that unit. Increase damage to status ailment affected enemies. So this is where it's just kind of like, okay, so we are running a unit that has 2 status ailments, for instance, 8th anniversary Ichigo, and he inflicts both drain and weaken on enemies. So he will then just get up straight up at just a massive damage because their status ailment affected. So this skill is exactly what it says. Once again, increase damage to status ailment afflicted enemies, doesn't matter which status ailment. Then increase damage to weakened enemies. Weaken is probably the best or second best status effect in the game, because of the fact that it reduces your target's damage output to 1. It's literally 1, they cannot do more than that. And they also decrease the enemy's defense, which is great. And then you can, of course, just tank them and completely annihilate them, so that's really good. Then skill, Debilitator. Here we go, now we have normal skills again. Okay, so Debilitator, essentially what it does is, depending on the set duration on the skill, it increases the duration of a status ailment proc. So let's say, for instance, just hypothetical here, you inflict weaken on an enemy. Just say, as a hypothetical situation once again, it lasts for 10 seconds. With Debilitator, you will then get X amount bonus seconds set on the skill's duration. Let's say plus 5 seconds. You will then have plus 15, or well, a total of 15 seconds that your status ailment is applied. So just remember that the Debilitator increases the duration of your status effects, which is great. Skill, decrease damage taken. I'm not gonna explain it too much, but yeah, it's you take less damage. You get bonked less, if that makes sense. It's set to whatever percentage is actually on your character. Just remember that you cannot reach 100% damage reduction. It's not possible in the game. It has diminishing returns after a certain point. Then skill, Devastation. We are getting into the good stuff now. So, Devastation. Essentially what it does is, it is another skill like Bruiser and Berserker. But this Devastation is for your Soul Bomb. So it's going to increase the damage of your Soul Bomb. Just remember that. Your special move, Soul Bomb, whatever you want to call it. Your basically big boom, I want to delete the room. Makes sense, yeah. Okay, Diminisher skill. This is a kind of a niche skill, once again. It's not on many units in the game. But essentially what it does is it increases debuff duration time. Now, debuff is available on certain units. It's not, like I said, that popular. But just remember that it is there. So it increases the duration of the debuff you apply of the unit. That is the skill called Diminisher. Then skill, Disabler. This is, okay, it increases the probability of inflicting status effects. Now the thing is, I don't want you guys to be like, okay, so it's the same as increased status ailment chance. It's not the same thing. It is 2 different skills, okay, but the thing is, it is, how can I explain this? So increased status ailment chance, it's basically against a certain faction only, okay? There is certain units that just have increased status ailment chance, fair enough, I think. No, wait, there isn't, okay, anyways. So increased status ailment chance is usually against factions or attributes. Now the skill called Disabler is universal. You get just a straight up increased status ailment chance, okay? So it's not just against certain factions. However, you're probably never gonna see this. It's only really come up again now with Asken and the Brave battle scene, but other than that, it's really not that good. You will probably never see it again. Let's just put it like that. So the skill called Disabler increases your status ailment chance, but not just against certain factions. So just keep that in mind. If a skill like increased status ailment chance affects only a faction or a attribute type. It will actually say it on the card itself. There's no confusion in that. Just remember that. Okay. So skills increase coin drop. This will increase the amount of coins you earn after beating a mission by whatever percentage is set on the skill. Skill increase crystal / jewel drop. This will increase the amount of crystals and jewels you earn after the mission according to the percentage on the skill. Increase droplet drop. This will increase the amount of droplets you get after completing a mission based on the amount on the skill. This is not a percentage really. It is. Yeah, it is. Never mind. It is a percentage thing. But just remember that droplets is not that difficult to farm anymore. Skill increase link slot potions drop. This will increase the amount of potions you get if the mission does actually drop potions in it at the end of the mission. Just remember that you can't just throw this on to any of your units and then say, let's go have a field day. It needs to be a mission that basically drops links of potions, otherwise it's completely redundant. Unless they changed something in the last couple of months, or I'm just an idiot that hasn't actually tried it in normal missions, but I think it doesn't. So just, yeah. No, it doesn't. It does. I'm 100% sure that if you put a potion character into a normal mission just that doesn't drop potions, you're not going to get any potions. I'm 100% sure of that. But yeah, anyway, skill. Increased super link slot potion drops. Increases the amount of super link slot potions you will get after the mission. Now, just one thing to know, remember that is attribute based. You don't have a universal drop. It is attribute based. So if you're running a character that is on, let's say, heart, purple, you are going to be getting mind potions and droplets if you use the skills that I just mentioned. So just remember that it is always the opposite of whatever attribute you are running. You will be earning those potions and droplets. Then skill. Enhancer. This is a buff for your units. It's a team buff, of course. This increases the buff duration. Enhancer increases the buff duration that your characters inflict. So usually you will get Enhancer and Booster on the same unit if it's a really good unit. This will overall just increase the duration and the effect of the buff that they're going to apply. There's certain units that have it. Just remember that most of these units are guild quest units, so yeah. Then skill. Flurry. Now we're getting into the good stuff. So Flurry increases the normal attack hits. So earlier we covered a skill called Bruiser, which increases your normal attack damage by a set amount of percentage. Flurry is another skill that goes hand in hand with Bruiser pretty much, as it is a NAD specific pretty much skill, and what it does is it's going to increase the normal attack hits. Now let's put it into a simpler way to understand for you guys. Let's say you use somebody, yeah, let's say him, okay, Sergeant. We have on the screen staring at us menacingly for a while now. Your normal attack, just a example here. Let's say you hit an enemy once, okay? You see one damage number popping up. Okay. Now you add a Flurry +1 on your character. Now all of a sudden you're going to see 2 damage numbers popping up because it's going to hit an extra time. Flurry +2, you're going to be seeing 3 damage numbers pop up because you'll be hitting 2 extra times. Flurry +3, you're going to be seeing 4 damage numbers pop up because you're going to be hitting an extra 3 times. So just remember, you have your base, which is your first number, and then if you have Flurry +1, you're going to be seeing 2 numbers, and then it just goes on and up from there. Let's just keep that in mind. So Flurry increases the number of normal attack hits. Okay, and skill, follow-up. This is once again a very dead and old skill, but basically this increases your damage that you deal to enemies that have been knocked over. Most enemies in this game get just straight up killed now. There's very little room for such skills to actually flourish in this game. Skill Frenzy. This is the strong attack damage of Flurry. So Frenzy, basically what it does is it increases the amount of hits your strong attack does. I'm going to explain it again like I did with Flurry. So let's say you have a strong attack, your first, second or third attack, and it hits 10 times. Here, Frenzy +1 is going to hit an extra time every single time. So you're going to be hitting 20 times. If you have Frenzy +2, it's going to be hitting 30 times. If you have Frenzy +3, you're going to be hitting 40 times. So just keep that in mind. It gets really silly really quickly. That is why units like 8th Anniversary Ichigo and 9th Anniversary Grammy is so ridiculously powerful. It's because they have a Vortex which already hit a ridiculous amount of times every single time you cast it, and they have Frenzy +3 on their units. So the Vortex is just a extremely powerful thing to always have with you. How long has this video been going on for? Okay, guys, I'm going to be calling it here for this video. Is there anything more that we need to cover on the next page? No. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be covering the rest in the next video, which will be next week and Wednesday. It's a little bit too much to do in one video, and I still need to actually add in the timestamps and stuff like that, so please be patient with me. I know you guys are, and I really do appreciate it, but yeah, it's a lot to go through, and I try to explain it in a way where you guys can understand it, even if you don't know the skill at all. So yeah, I do apologize if you guys were wanting this in one video, but it is going to be what it is. It's a two-part thing, and yeah, thank you all for watching. I really do much appreciate it. If you find the information that I give you guys useful whatsoever, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I know you guys have been. It's been phenomenal, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, I will see you all again in a video on Friday, which will be the weekly summons analysis. Great stuff, you know. At the moment, I'm kind of, like I say, disappointed about the mid-month, not because of the units being what they are. I love the look of you know, what is it, past resurrection? I don't even know what to call it. Ukiura and Master Lord Ichigo. But unfortunately, I know what type of characters they are. You guys probably already know as well, and you know why I have an issue with it, but I'll go into that on Friday. But yeah, have a great day, everybody. I thank you all once again for watching, and I will see you all again in the next one. Have a good one, and peace out.